The Extreme Harm in Not Vaccinating by Susanna Lawrence and Jalen Culver. What is a vaccine? A substance used to stimulate the production of antibodies and provide immunity against one or several diseases. Comparison the causative agent of a disease, its products, or synthetic substitute treated to act as an antigen without inducing the disease. Early history of vaccines. As early as 1000 AD, the Chinese used insulin techniques against smallpox. Ancient Africa and Turkey also used similar techniques. History of vaccines in the U.S. In the United States, the first instance of a vaccine was 1721, when a Puritan minister, Cotton Mather, encouraged the smallpox vaccine due to outbreak of the disease. Then in 1796, English physician and scientist Edward Jenner created the first smallpox vaccine and successfully vaccinated an 8-year-old boy. U.S. President James Madison signed an act to encourage vaccination into a law in 1813, which created the National Vaccine Agency. In 1855, Massachusetts was the first state to mandate vaccinations for school children. By 1963, 20 states required immunizations to attend public schools, and 29 states by 1970. Here's a list of vaccines used in the U.S. Controversy over vaccines in U.S. In 1879, the Anti-Vaccination Society of America was founded in response to the states enacting vaccines mandates and the belief that it is undignified to mandate vaccines and the efficacy of vaccination as a disease preventive is a matter of individual opinion. Then in 1882, the New England Anti-Compulsory Vaccination was founded. In 1885, the Anti-Vaccination League of New York City followed, as well as the Anti-Vaccination Group in California, Illinois, Indiana, Minnesota, Utah, West Virginia, and Wisconsin. These groups repelled vaccine mandates. In 1922, the case of Phelps versus King challenged the mandatory vaccination of school children. Autism controversy. In 1988, Andrew Wakefield, MD, published his case study. In this article, Wakefield claimed that rubella, the combined measles, mumps, and associated with autism, in the vaccine has been implicated. That prompted people to opt out of vaccinating their children. In 2010, 10 of the 12 co-authors of Wakefield article published retractions and stated that there was no link between MMR vaccine and autism. In 2011, the British Journal of Medicine published an article saying that Wakefield received several $1,000s from lawyers and that of the 12 children that Wakefield examined, 5 had developed problems before being vaccinated and 3 never had autism. Later that year, Britain then stripped Wakefield of his medical license. Jenny McCarthy and vaccinations. Jenny McCartney, Playboy model turned TV personality, claims that vaccines gave her son Evan autism. Despite that McCarthy is less than credible, she has been one of the most celebrity anti-vaxxers. Even Oprah Winfrey treated her like an expert on autism because she had a mommy instinct. Larry King also treated her as an expert on the CNN show. Despite campaigning against vaccines in the past years, in an interview in 2010, McCarthy stated that Evan was showing signs of developmental delay before his MMR shot. Current studies on vaccines. According to CNN, the vaccine for measles, mumps, and rubella doesn't increase the risk of autism. According to a new study of more than 95,000 children, a team of researchers examines records of the children over the span of 11 years. They studied the risk of autism developing in children after receiving the MMR vaccine, examining records children over the span of 11 years. Dr. Sanjay Gupta stated, "We're not sure as a scientific community what causes autism, but vaccines do not." And here's a video.
Hi, if you didn't hear, Carnival and I have partnered to bring you Guy's Burger Joint on board, where you can get the best burgers at sea. And since my name's on it, you know they're off the hook.
Also today, there is more evidence showing no link between the MMR vaccine and autism, even in children considered to be at a greater risk. Researchers at the Lewin Group studied 95,000 kids. They found no association between the vaccine that prevents measles, mumps, and rubella and autism, and that is regardless of whether the child had an older sibling on the spectrum.
This study confirms the safety of the MMR vaccine using recent objective data and a very large data set. We hope that this reassures parents when they're making healthcare decisions for their children and autism spectrum disorder.
Doctors say parents who have a child on the autism spectrum are more reluctant to vaccinate other siblings. The researchers hope this new large study will change that.
Medical exceptions. There are many people that do not believe in vaccines due to personal reasons or even religious reasons. More importantly, there are also very serious medical conditions that exempt many from vaccinations. Example, some rare risks linked to MMR vaccine include joint pain, temporary arthritis, and immune thrombocytopenic purpura, which also stands for ITP, a disorder that decreases blood platelet count. ITP may be a reason for some children to not finish their vaccinations. When discovered that vaccination side effects have harmed the child, doctors may recommend to not finish vaccinations till an older age. ITP is a disorder that can lead to easy or excessive bruising and bleeding. The bleeding results from usually low levels of platelets, the cells that help your blood flow. ITP, which is also called immune thrombotic purpura, affects both children and adults. Children often develop ITP after a viral infection, usually recover fully without treatment. But in adults, however, the disorder is often chronic. It's a 1 in 400,000 chance for children to get ITP after being vaccinated from the MMR. Currently, diseases such as polio are widespread in Africa and other third world countries, but now the United States and Britain have exemplary reserve of measles and whooping cough, which are almost entirely due to an ignorance and fear spread by the anti-vaccination movements. In places like Nigeria and Pakistan, there are outbreaks of polio, a disease that should have been eradicated globally several decades ago due to violence directed by vaccine workers. Pakistan currently has 94 cases of polio, higher than any other country. The hostility linked to vaccines in third world countries makes it obvious that measles and whooping cough in the U.S., Britain, places where vaccines are completely accessible and excused. For those who can get vaccinated because of medical reasons, are told that they are protected only because of those who are vaccinated and they are around them every day. But because anti-vaccination has become so popular, it's becoming so dangerous for those who cannot be vaccinated. And here I'm super excited.